what position you have in your career can dictate how much money you make and if people respect you or not. What hand position you have in bowling will dictate how much rotation you have. So in today's video, we will talk about how critical your hand positioning is, because that makes it more critical when it comes to your ball rotation and how much rotation that you want to put on the ball. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's video, we will be talking about hand positions and how that can really work on your rotation. Because if your hand positioning is incorrect and you're not seeing the right rotation down lane or the right motion or the right shape, then you probably are not holding the ball the way that you should be. So in today's video, we'll be going over the hand positioning and how you can kind of work on that, because there is little secrets that you can do, especially with two-handers, in order to get less rotation or more rotation. So in today's video, we will go over that. I got 2 points for you today. So the first point is, the farther left you go on your ball with your left hand, the less rotation you'll have. The farther right you go, the more rotation the ball will have. So really, if you're a two-hander, I know for me, the farther left you go here will dictate how well it will give you less rotation. So whenever you lean your ball this way, the farther left you go here, the less rotation you'll have. Farther right, the more rotation. So the more inside the ball you'll get. And I'm going to use my ball again, my favorite little Bengal Tiger ball. So this is my Bengal Tiger ball here. And you're probably thinking, why has he got a Bengal Tiger ball? Well, I am a Cincinnati Bengals fan. And this year hasn't been too well. Burrow's gotten hurt. Flacco has stepped in, but our defense is no good. So it's been a tough year. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. So what I was talking about with your left hand, the farther right you go here, the more inside the ball you'll be. Farther left you go here, the more right here you'll be and the less rotation you'll have. So if you can look at it this way, farther right you go here, you'll see when we come back, we're here. Farther left you go here, when we come back, we're here. So think about it. This is more end over end, the left side, and this is more rotation, because when you come through, you'll be right here. Be exactly right here. So if that makes any sense to you. And what I've learned is, if you look at Belmo and Troop and different two-handers, you'll see them kind of place their hands sideways. But more or less, you'll see Troop, you'll see Jesper Svensson, you'll see a couple of different two-handers. They'll line up their fingers at a certain point on the ball, and then they'll kind of hold it sideways, which is kind of what I've learned to do over the years, is that you can line your fingers. So I'll use my middle finger on my left hand and line it up with my pinky if I want less rotation. And so each time I want more rotation, you can go halfway between your ring finger, or you go to your ring finger with a little bit more rotation. And the farther right you go with your left hand, then you about know what kind of rotation you're going to have. And that's basically what I'm trying to get to, is the more rotation you want, the farther right the left hand has to go. The less rotation you want, the farther left your left hand has to go. And it is exactly the opposite for left-handers. And for right-handers, well, for one-handers, then it'll be kind of different, but yet really similar. It's the same thing whenever you're setting up. And it basically, your left hand is just a guide hand. Only difference is whenever you're coming through with one hand. But it's more or less just getting your hand in the right position at the startup whenever you're a one-hander. And then whenever you let go, so let's say you want to go farther right, whenever you let go, your hand is still here. If you want to get over here, then you're here. And if you're a one-hander, I'm sure you got different secrets that I don't know about because I'm not a one-hander. But I can throw one-handed. I'm not a professional with it. But I'm sure there is some secrets with it. I'm going to show you some different pictures of different professionals of where that they have placed their hand, and you'll see about what kind of rotation that they'll get from that hand placement. All right, so this one is Jason Belmonte. He is probably the one that you're going to see with the hand farther to the right because he's trying to create more shape down lane. And so as you can see here, I'm going to circle this. Okay, so you see how far his left hand is, and his middle finger, which is my guide point, his middle finger is all the way to his index finger. So you'll see whenever he throws that ball, it's going to be a lot of rotation. And of course, he's throwing urethane here. And so that's what I'm talking about. The farther right you go, the more rotation you have. And Belmo, he does like to create a lot of shape down lane. All right, so this is Kyle Troup. And Kyle Troup, he holds his left hand more straighter, but it's still pretty far to the right. As you can see, his middle finger right here is always my guide point. And it's pretty far to the right here. Line up again with his index finger, which is about where Belmo was playing too. Only difference is his left hand is straighter out. And I don't really know how that dictates your rotation if your hand is straight or sideways. To me, if it's sideways, you would think it gives you more rotation. I'm not sure on that. I'll have to test that out myself. But I do know, like we've been talking about the whole video, farther right it is, the more rotation you'll have. All right, so this is Pete Weber. And if you've watched my other videos, you've seen this same video. But you see about where his left hand is there. His left hand is more sideways, but it is right in the middle around his middle finger on his right hand. And like we've covered in the other videos, the farther you are on the outside of the ball, the less rotation you'll have down lane. So the less revs you'll have. Okay, this is Walter Ray, and you'll see in his setup how far on the left side that his left hand is on the bowling ball, which is exactly what I was talking about in the other videos, where he is so far on the outside of the ball, which is the reason why he has so much less rotation, and he's able to stay a lot straighter. All right, so this is Anthony Simonson, and as you can see, he's got his ball more turned in this way, but you still see his left hand is more lined up with his middle finger on his right hand. So in that type of a hand position, you'll get kind of like a smoother roll. Won't be too much rotation, and it won't be too less of a ball rotation. So somewhere right in the middle. And this is a young Marshall Kent. The photo isn't very good quality, but as you can see, his left hand is more to the farther inside of the bowling ball, and his right hand is more toward the outside, not as quite as outside as what a Walter Ray would be, but still kind of toward the outside, which is very typical for a one-hander. All right, just to recap, in today's video, we learned about hand positioning. The farther left you are with your left hand, the less rotation you'll have. The farther right with your right hand, the more rotation you'll have. And it's more or less just for you to get the feeling of, to know if I move my hand over this way, I'll get more rotation. If I move it over this way, I'll get less rotation. And it's more or less just having that feeling and knowing that if you are on a more of a higher friction pattern, you want to put less rotation on the ball. If you're on more of a heavier oil pattern with a high volume of oil, then you probably want to put more rotation on it, depending on the shape of the pattern and how that lane surface is playing. So hopefully you learned something today. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you would like to subscribe, go ahead. That would be wonderful. And I will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching.